The Prosperous Heart, Divine Feminine, Sacred Feminine, Abundance transmission. And I'm so grateful for the opportunity to share from my heart the beauty of this discovery that awaits you when you experience the infinite generosity of sacred feminine. And in this live stream, we're going to dive together into what is sacred feminine, how can you bring it forth through your being more and more, and what is prosperous heart. So if you and I meet for the very first time, my name is Katerina Satori. I do these live broadcast transmissions very regularly, often on Mondays. And then what I do, I post these videos on my other channels. So you may see this on YouTube, you may see this on Instagram, on LinkedIn, but I love to stream it from Facebook. And it's such a joy to be together. It's such a joy to be together. You know, I created many, many curriculums on prosperity mindset of how to use the power of your mind to create your dreams and to heal whatever you need to heal in your life, right? Our mind is so powerful. And once we unlock the power of the mind, there is a whole new territory awaits us, and it's the power of our heart. So this transmission is about unlocking the prosperous heart. And I'm referring to a spiritual dimension of your heart that has a unique magic, unique ability to connect to the cosmic heart. So this is what this conversation, teaching, channeling will be about. If you have a question or something you wanted to ask me in relation to this topic, not, like really connected to this topic, I will be happy to answer that. So leave your question or your comment in the comment section, and I'll be happy to address that. So let's attune together to the topic of divine feminine. I recently saw a YouTube video titled Divine Feminine that just resonated with so many people. I believe Liz Gilbert, the author of Eat, Pray, Love, a very famous writer, she published the video about Divine Feminine. And I did this. Yes, finally, the topic of sacred feminine is going broad, even broader than before. Finally, more and more people say, yes, this was my life before meeting Divine Feminine, and this was my life after, right? It's a whole new type of awakening to Divine Feminine, awakening to a life that is very mythic in nature, that truly is filled with new radiance and new zest for life, new inner freedom. You come more and more at peace with who you are. You see the universe in a new way. You have this realization that the world is not here to be fixed and nobody needs to be saved, but you are here to be a player, an actor in divine theater. That the sacred feminine birthed out of her sacred wound for the joy, for the play, for the experience. The sacred feminine is that pulsating force of life. Everything is sacred feminine. So when you awaken to that realization, or when sacred feminine awakens in you, we can call it Kundalini awakening, spiritual awakening, right? Awakening of the heart. All of those are sacred feminine awakening. then we begin to rethink our ideas around abundance, prosperity, wealth, right? We begin to rethink all those ideas that used to feel correct for us. And we begin to question things, and we begin to say, what is true prosperity from the sacred feminine way? So I want to pause here to make sure my sound is coming through. Would anybody be so kind to let me know in the comments, is my sound coming through, or am I just speaking into the void? You got to check this if you do live streams. 1 second. 1 second. I'm going to check if anything is coming through. Don't be shy, darlings. You can. Oh, here's 4 comments. I just see them. Sound is great. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. You know, if you ever do live streams, you know, you got to check on the sound. So, darlings, I wanted to share with you this Prosperous Heart code, right? A code is a packet of multidimensional wisdom. And you first begin to contemplate it. What if there is another way to magnetize prosperity without you constantly grasping for things, without you constantly putting so much effort and trying and that old hustle energy that is not sustainable? So when the sacred feminine, divine mother of the universe awakens in your heart, you begin to co-create with her directly. Another way to say it, you begin to listen to the instructions from life itself that comes to you from your intuitive voice. And you begin to ask yourself, gosh, what is it I love doing? That I love doing so much that I lose all sense of time. And now, and then how can I take this love of this thing, this craft, this art, this skill set that I have, and how can I align that to what the sacred feminine is moving through the entire world, awakening the feeling nature in all of us, awakening the sense of that we're all connected, awakening the profound truth of prosperity that there is always enough. So prosperity in sacred feminine understanding is that feeling of plenty, feeling of enough. I had a conversation with my partner yesterday and I said, we think that we want 100K per month revenue, or maybe for somebody that's just like, not even worthy goal. Somebody wants 200,000 a month. Somebody says, I am happy with 10K. I'm happy with 20K. But we're not really after particular numbers. What we're really after is the sense of stability. We want predictable financial revenue, right? We want to feel that we are provided for, that our life provides for us. We also want to feel a sense of enoughness. We want to feel like, you know what? I have enough. I have enough. And we also want to trust that opportunities will come to us. We don't need to grasp, we don't need to eat the whole freaking pie in one setting. We trust that the pie always there. That's what we're truly after. When you begin to analyze the energetics of what we want when we say we want more abundance, we want these 3 things. We want stability. We want emotional feeling, I have enough. And we want the sense of trust that our skills, our gifts, and our abilities will be needed in the future, that our work will be relevant. So if you want all of this is a very normal things to desire. If you want to align to the power of life itself, which is sacred feminine, then enter into a new conversation with life. So wake up every morning. As I always say, I wake up every morning and I have the most important meeting of my life. Meeting with my business advisor, which is Divine Mother. And I say, Divine Mother, what is your plan for today? Or I'm having conversation with intelligence of life. life, you are already moving in particular direction. Open my eyes to see the current that is already moving. And my job is to simply align to the current. My job is not strategize and grab and make sure, I am the first one, make sure I win. I mean, I've done that for years and it was necessary education. But there is another way to move through your life. And it's when you realize you co-create with life. Divine Mother, the sacred feminine, we can see it in three different levels that we can connect with that intelligence. The first level is transcendental. Our mind collapses when it tries to imagine sacred feminine in its fullness. Right? So it's just imagine the entire universe is the body of the sacred feminine. All the planets, all the galaxies, all the interconnections, all the space. So that's a lot to grasp, right? That's why we need to go a little bit more relatable, such as, okay, our planet Earth is the body of the sacred feminine. That's why we talk Mother Earth. And we can learn from the sacred feminine by learning from the nature. Here's the prosperity codes from nature. She is infinitely creative. Infinite creativity is the signature of sacred feminine. So when you begin to hear the voice of your soul, your intuition, you will become a magnet to brilliant and abundant ideas. Ideas simply come to you. And you wake up next day in morning and you will receive an idea. You know what? In order for you to take your work and share it in a new way, consider this, consider that. What if you do this? What if you do that? So the life itself begins to give you this guidance. You begin to connect to this living field of intelligence, information field. And what is needed is to slow down and to hear that voice. So sacred feminine is infinitely intelligent and it never repeats itself. I can count on all of my fingers these incredible personal stories where I would get myself into a situation out of my own doing, right? Listening to some thoughts that would just spin me in kind of a not harmonious vibration, and I would get myself in a situation where I really needed divine intervention. And I would say, Great Mother, I surrender into your grace, into your infinite ways you can help me go beyond this scenario. I feel trapped here by my own invention, right? By my own choices. The key with the sacred feminine is always take full responsibility for your own creations. And you say, Divine Mother, I thought I needed that and I needed this, and here I am feeling bound by my own creations. I'm calling to you to liberate me and to show me a new way of living. A sweeter, softer, kinder, unhurried life kind of way. And what I can share with you, Divine Mother always, always, always answer that prayer. If you call her support for liberation of your soul, you're engaging her Kali aspect, right? A lot of people say Kali is so frightening. She is the goddess or representation of the sacred feminine from the Hindu tradition. She has dark blue skin. She is naked with wild untamed hair. She's wearing a necklace of skulls. She's covered in blood. And she has like huge knives in her hands. She's a scary image if you don't understand her message. Kali represents the power of the feminine to liberate us from the bondages that we created, right? Maybe from decisions that we've made out of pressure or not considering well the consequences of those decisions. Maybe we made decisions out of fear and lack and scarcity, and we found ourselves feeling like trapped. Then you call into the sacred feminine. You ask her to liberate your consciousness, open your eyes, so you can move through your reality with a prosperous heart. And maybe this could be something that you can experiment with. As I always say, test this out through experiment. Ask the sacred feminine to awake the prosperous heart in you. The heart that is at peace with exactly where you at. The heart that is available and open for more. The heart that is knows that it's connected to the cosmic heart. The heart that is know that it's already prosperous. Right? So prosperity, let's contemplate together on the word prosperity. How do you know you're prosperous? Well, maybe if we talk about the times where you feel like you lose prosperity, I can share with you. I lose a sense of prosperity when I make my life too complex. Right? So sometimes when you begin to strive for more and you want to go faster than your body wants to go, you pile a lot of things into your life, into your calendar, you overstretch and you make your life too complex. And you may have increased your revenue, you might have the most amazing, abundant month, but you feel like you are stretched to the limit. You worry about your projects. You stopped sleeping well. You feel like everybody wants something from you. You are stretched. So are you prosperous? This is where you lose your prosperity when your life becomes too complex. Right? We also lose our sense of prosperity when we don't feel like we're doing what we are born to do. Right? It's only a matter of time. If we can try to force ourselves to do things that simply pay the bills. And it's okay. If your attitude is right, if it's a stepping stone, I have a series of chapters in my life where I was so happy to do any job, starting with housekeeping. Any job that somebody would give me, I was happy to do because it was a stepping stone. But eventually we're meant to outgrow the stepping stones, right? We are meant to outgrow the stepping stones and to leap into our true calling, into something that you can do with your eyes closed because it's your gift. It's your divine gift. It's your sacred assignment. And when you do it, you radiate a special glow, right? So, darlings, that's prosperity when you do the work that you love and the work that is truly useful for others. So I can share with you something. When you cultivate the prosperous heart, you cultivate the right attitude. Because sometimes we will go through chapters in life that I call them humility soups. Sometimes life will give us experience just to teach us a profound lesson of humility. You know, the sacred feminine, the divine, is the most humble being. It's a sacred humility. It's not fake humility. The sacred humility, the divine became everything to give us all an experience of physicality, right? So there is no hierarchy in the divine eyes. The divine, the sacred mother, the divine mother loves all of her beings the same way. So remember when I shared, I hope you can follow my wild mind. Remember I shared the divine feminine reveals herself on these three major levels. And the first level was transcendental. She is everything. The second level is uh, planetary. Earth is Sacred Mother's body. And the third level is the inner level, where the Sacred Feminine is the voice of your awakened heart. And the Sacred Feminine is so available for one-on-one connection with you. She is that silent presence that have been with you at the times of your most despair. She is that strength of grace that lifted you up where you said, I cannot go longer anymore. I need help. She is that divine intervention, that miracle that comes into your life. That's all the Sacred Feminine. She is the synchronicity. She is the mystery. She is the divine omens and signs. All of that is the Sacred Feminine, available as close as your breath. So when you begin to co-create with that energy, with that intelligence, you connect to the infinite supply of ideas, of energy, of connections, of synchronicity, and your prosperous heart begins to glow and begins to grow and begins to emanate more and more and more and more. So there is these scientific studies called the Heart Math Institute. And it has become really, really popular. I'm so grateful for those amazing scientists who studied the electromagnetic power of the heart. And they say it can't even compare to our brain. Our brain waves are very powerful, but our heart waves, oh my gosh. I don't know the correct numbers, so I'm not going to quote it, but it's at least 10 times stronger. So imagine when you walk through your life, you walk through today, you walk through tomorrow, and through this week with this one key idea: I am here to live as a prosperous heart. You are going to emanate the heart waves that everybody you encounter will feel. People will look at you differently. Like, I don't know what it is, but something different about that person, right? You may be flooded with, you know, just animals on the street coming up to you and babies in the grocery stores flirting with you through their eyes. That is your heart energy emanating. And one more thing that I wanted to offer you that was very strong this last couple of weeks is this affirmation or a living code of intelligence. Divine Mother knows what you need. Every single moment of your life, beloved soul, Divine Mother knows what you need. So I encourage you to write this down on a big piece of paper and contemplate this phrase every day of this life. If you're an artist, create a piece of art. Divine Mother knows what I need. So think about your mother. If you had a good relationship with your mother, didn't your mother wanting only the best for you? Even if you didn't have a good relationship with your mother, right? And you had an aunt that looked after you, or you had some kind of other parental figure that looked after you, your grandmother. Didn't the mother figure in your life knew what you needed when you were little, and you were consistently supplied with that? So now imagine the cosmic mother who birthed your soul, who envisioned your soul, who contemplated very intentionally about the soul of you and birthed you into existence. Doesn't she know what you need? Divine Mother knows what you need. And if you take that and make that your inner stability every single day, Divine Mother knows what I need. Then from that inner stability, no matter what you create, no matter what business call you make, no matter what video or article that you write, it will come with a different vibrational signature. It comes from a prosperous heart that doesn't try to influence someone, to make them like them, right? It doesn't, those vibrations begin to just peel away and kind of fall away from you. Prosperous heart is a generous heart. It's a giving heart, it's a loving heart, it's a creative heart. It's a big heart to include everyone. It's an inclusive heart. And I promise you, when you are tuned to that prosperous heart, what naturally comes after that is unique guidance. In the Buddhist tradition, they call it the right action. You will know what is your thread to hold. I am here to be a joy activist. That's my activism. You know, I see my role is to be like that bee, pollinating divine joy, coming from a flower, a flower, 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 flower. Every human being is a flower. And I fly. This is the metaphor that I want to share with you. That's recently the big epiphany. And I'm here to be this bee that pollinates joy. What is your metaphor? Do you see yourself as a dragonfly or as a hummingbird? Do you see yourself as a sacred owl? What is your task? Because when you activate the prosperous heart, this right action spontaneously arises. Your calling could be paint revolutionary ideas that awaken humanity to a new consciousness. Your calling could be to gather people for a conference and to introduce new groundbreaking research that mobilizes everybody to, do something for environment or do for any kind of activism that beats your heart into motion. But every single one of us has a different thread that we hold. Maybe you are born to be an entrepreneur. Maybe you have a gift of getting fit and inspiring others to love their body and to cultivate strong agility. What is your thread? Maybe your gift is to create exquisite music that takes people's spirits and nourishes them and lifts them up above the mundane. And your gift is to give people that form of healing. What is your gift? When you come from the prosperous heart, you will hear the answer. All right, darlings, I'm going to put on these glasses of mine. Lately, I have amazing vision, like long distance. It didn't change for me, but a close-up distance, I need glasses. So, hi, darling. Good to see you. It's so good to be together. Ivana, good to see you. Ivana is asking, I would love to know how you knew that your Kundalini energy was fully awakened. That's a sacred feminine awakening. And what is the difference between it not being fully online versus it being fully embodied? Is it about the level of creativity? This is an exquisite question, Ivana. Thank you so much. So Kundalini energy is that current of divine intelligence that lays sleeping at the area of our root chakra, at the bottom of our spine. And all the ancient yogi disciplines talk about Kundalini, that it's only a matter of time. We actually designed to have Kundalini awakening around midlife. Right? So imagine in a more idealistic society, more ideal society where your caregivers would prepare you as a child to go through different rites of passages, to prepare you when you reach your mid 30s or early 40s, or maybe earlier for some people, right? You would be ready to receive the divine fire awakening through you. And it's a genius level creativity. Yes, Ivana. It's also an ability to fully utilize your intuitive mind. So you operate from that intuitive intelligence, that your psychic organs open up as well. So clairaudience, ability to hear your higher self, or ability to hear your guides, right? Clairvoyance. And clairvoyance come in many different ways, right? Some people see auras or images, or they can have this ability to see possible future outcomes, right? So you have these psychic organs awakening in you. I have found that psychic organs and psychic abilities are natural abilities. They spontaneously bloom when we prepare our inner environment. So you become more psychic, you become more creative, you begin to radiate new level of vitality. Because imagine your kundalini energy, it goes from your lower chakras, from your root, from your sexual energy, from into your solar plexus, and it reaches the heart, right? So you can track your kundalini awakening based on awakening of all your power centers. And when you experience the heart awakening, you can experience spontaneous tears of joy, spontaneous understanding of everything that exists, right? It's a very spontaneous waves that flood you, right? And you may experience this surge of devotional love for life. You may want to only eat raw living foods. You go through different purification processes. So for me, it was a gradual process with these peak experiences where I would eventually begin to decode, oh, I'm going through a wave of kundalini, I'm going through another wave, I'm going through another wave, I'm going through another wave, right? And it's energetic expansion experience. Your energy field becomes bigger and bigger and vaster and more active. It's like all of your subtle bodies come online. I'm going to find the video that I have on Kundalini Awakening, and I will share it with you. Yes. Okay. There's any other questions? I'm going to take a look. Yes. Hey, Jeremy, it was so awesome to see you. Prosperity mindset of creativity is the key here and now. It is, it is, it is. Trust in divine, unwavering support on every level. Satya says she only desires for her children to flourish and thrive. Yes, darlings. And you know what I also wanted to share with you is we are all being invited to rewrite the prosperity codex in our own new way. And you know, the sacred feminine is the main symbol of sacred feminine is the circle. So think about that we are all invited to share our wisdom, and we all gather together at the circle. Think about the ancient times and ancient tribes where the elders of a tribe would gather people not in the rows, but in the circle. And then the talking stick would be passed, and whoever had a talking stick, it was their turn to express and to share, and everybody would listen. So I feel more and more voices are coming online. I was sharing this with my partner a couple of days ago, and I said, I am seeing creativity revolution. So many voices online. So many people want to say, it is my time to express my voice. My voice needs to be shared as well. And what is happening, darlings, collectively speaking, we are seeing more and more people taking this creative leap, right? And going through an awkward process of experimentation, putting yourself out there, overcoming inadequacy, fears of other people's judgment, the stories of their mind. This is a huge growth process. Imagine that we're doing it on the level of society. We're moving towards creative society. We're moving towards more and more people saying, I too have something to share. I too have sacred gifts to offer. I too have a voice that wants to be shared. So it's a creativity revolution, and creativity is the sacred feminine. So, what is so transformative with what's happening right now, because we also have technological revolution, right? We have technology and consciousness and creativity and psychedelics. All of that is just boom, 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 fast. Strap your galactic seatbelt. So this is why I encourage all of us to connect to the most important teacher, to the most important advisor who will guide your business, your career, your family. And it's the sacred feminine, because it's her time. And she is awakening in all of us. She's awakening in all of us. All genders feel the pulse of life moving through them in a new way. So I'm here for that. And I'm here to encourage all of us to ride this wave of creative revolution. And you know how we can lose our power is by doing this. What's they doing? What's they doing? Am I doing it right? Am I doing it right? Am I catching up with everybody? Are they going faster than me? Oh my God, I'm behind. Oh, am I behind? Oh, I think I'm behind. The moment we do that, we disconnect it from divine supply, from creative power, from our own beat of our song. So, darlings, listen to the voices that inspire you to be you. And whenever you feel overwhelmed by too much noise, this is your time to take time for you. And you go in nature, you be with the tree, you be with the river, you be with the hummingbirds and the dragonflies, and listen to their voice. And what it does, it begins to soothe your nervous system. It begins to calm you and bring you into your heart. Right? So beautiful. Yes, Ivana, please do that one. Shakti Awakening is such a great resource. So, darlings, I wanted to share this with you because it's a new week and it's a great opportunity to co-create our life with the sacred feminine. And it's only going to bring you what you really need. If you know Divine Mother knows what you need, then you can open your heart and meet every moment as it comes, right? With gratitude, with tenderness, with joy. This is the key. This is the key to Prosperous Heart. And I will leave you one more idea. Look at the sacred feminine in nature. The apple tree. Oh, my favorite example, apple tree. Have you ever seen an apple orchard? Oh my goodness, there are so many apples everywhere, and the tree is heavy with the fruit, right? But it takes a tree entire year. The tree goes through all its beautiful changes and manifestation and transformations, and then boom, it's ripe with this incredible harvest of apples. The tree is not a machine pumping apples every month, right? Come on, where are my apples? The tree has its rhythm. It has its beautiful, natural, organic birth. Here's my harvest. So when we're learning from the nature, we begin to become more and more patient with the fruits that we bring from our creativity, from our natural. We stop expecting ourselves to be robots, to be machines. we'll begin to take a softer approach, trusting that if we cultivate our roots, if we get the right sunshine daily, if we trust our creativity, the fruits are the natural result of a healthy tree. So tend to your roots, tend to your branches. Make sure that your soil is healthy and the fruits of your life are inevitable. Right? The fruits of your life are inevitable. So trusting the beautiful fruits of your life. May Divine Mother be with you, darlings. I wanted to share with you the little book that I carry with me everywhere that I go by one of my favorite mystical teachers, Sri Aurobindo, and it's the book called The Mother. Look how tiny it is. It's a masterpiece. I highly recommend. It's only $3 on Amazon or something silly like this, $4. It's a book that will change your life. And in it, you're going to learn the 4 faces of Sacred Feminine. I read it over and over and over again, and my task is one day to memorize it. So I'll leave you with this. If this live stream was inspiring and supportive for you, feel free to share it to your community, share anything I published publicly, and may you be blessed knowing that the prosperous heart is who you truly are.